Hello and welcome to another edition of Indie Miners. Ben and Al with you here. Today we've got the third edition of our autumn special. So Billy Corgan has now released a total of 11 songs through his 33 podcast. We're going to go through the last tranche of 6 to complete the first chapter. Good morning to you, Al. So let's get started with the first track of the last 6, if you like. Just a reminder, also that we have 2 other specials that we've got. So if you want to check out the first 5 songs, please check out that particular episode as well. But Al, Hooligan, the first of this batch. What were your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, it's a 2-star song for me, mate. Really didn't do much for me at all. And I'll mention later in my comments around where the Pumpkins are at, but I really struggled with this song, mate. I really can't give it anything higher than a 2. What about yourself?
Oh, look, it just, for me, I felt it. I'm going to give it a 3, but it's got an American Idol or Australian Idol sort of feel to it. I think I could see, a vocalist coming in and nailing it, but it wouldn't be necessarily a track that I'd love to listen to. But 3 stars. I think it was all right. But so the second song, Steps in Time, was an interesting one for me. That there is a little bit more of the guitar driven stuff, which I think all of the Pumpkins fans are screaming out for. Just finding that in general at the moment we're finding too many electric keyboards thrown into the mix. We're seeing the vocals actually put into the mix a lot more. But what I just can't see out of these tracks, I can't see James Iyer's influence. I'm just not sure, mate. I don't know if it feels like he's part of the band just for for looks at the moment. It feels like he's picking up a bit of a superannuation check by just being part of the lineup, but not really contributing. Look, I'm going to give you this 3 as well. I didn't think it was too bad, but what do you think? Yeah,
look, I gave it 2.5. It's a track that's almost there. You can kind of see what they're trying to achieve, but I agree. Where is James Iyer? The guitars are simply awful. They are just drowned out. I know he's trying to achieve some sort of rock opera, mate, but it is just a painful listen.
Yeah. So 2.5 for that. Where Rain Must Fall. Now, this is a sort of a vocal-led song, Al. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I gave this 3, nearly a 3.5. I thought this was a lot better, and this is a bit of a pick-me-up towards the end of the album. But again, Corgan's vocals aren't that great. I don't know, mate. What's your 2 cents worth on it?
Look, I'm going to give it 2.5. Look, I think this would have been much better if Billy Corgan actually stepped aside. It's like he's trying to go for vocal harmonies. I just don't think his voice is necessarily up to it at this age. I think that you've got the female vocalists as well as him trying to, play off from one another. I'm just wondering whether he just maybe needed to step back and say, look, let the female vocalists do their job on this particular.
You're going to say, Billy Corgan, take a step back. Good luck with that, mate. Billy and his ego, mate. There's no chance in hell that would happen.
No, that's right. It just won't happen. And look, it seems to be getting worse. So it's I just don't know. I tend to agree, but mate, you got any other thoughts on Beyond the Veil?
Look, I thought that was actually okay. Again, the guitar's just not that crash hot for me, mates. I don't know. Look, these kind of songs I think would be perfect for some sort of torture situation. If you would ever capture someone and they needed some sort of way to get that information out of you, like a good kind of pair of headphones and listening to a lot of these tracks, I think would do the trick, mate. It's just awful.
Beyond the Veil, I think that was my favourite track, I think, of the 11 that have been put out so far. I think Beguiled, which is going to be in the next chapter so far, the Clubhouse leader, but I'm going to be giving that one 3.5. I didn't actually mind that particular song. It felt as if it would quite comfortably fit on a door, which we've done a special on just recently. So really not a bad song. So speaking about Clubhouse leaders, what did you think about Hooray?
That, for me, has now taken the cake of the worst song of 2022, and possibly, with a bit of review, the worst song in 10 years. I know we've had some pretty average albums this year, the Johnny Depp and Jeff Beck album, the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, which is just awful, but this song in particular just makes absolutely no sense. It's incoherent. It is almost like a joke of a song, which, if that is what Billy's trying to achieve, I think gold star rating for you, sir, but it's definitely the worst song I've ever heard. Well, I've heard for a long time, mate. What do you think?
I think this is probably the worst song that the Smashing Pumpkins have ever done. I don't know about all time, but he sounds like a crow. He's trying to sing in a much more in a positive way. So look, there's just a lot of things that it's just, some people just can't do. There's a lot of things that some people just aren't made up to do, and I think that's something he just needed to maybe just sort of think, look, be aware of your limitations and maybe stick to those limitations. Look, I would just like to give Charles Fleischer a shout out. If you're listening to this, I mean, he pretty much had a gun to his head. He was in the hot seat on the 33 podcast after this particular song was played. It's very hard to tell someone to their face that the track was shit. But,
and I also think for any crows listening out there, please don't take any offence.
Yeah, that's right. And look, if anyone disagrees with us on Hooray,
please disagree.
We'd love to get you in. We could sort of get you through and get you in, and we'll have a chat to you just to see what you think. The final track, The Gold Mask, I thought that was a really good way to finish off the first chapter. I think that overall we're seeing that there are some good-ish tracks. There's tracks that certainly would stand up to some of their older stuff, but there is a lot that probably wouldn't. Al, what did you think about this one? I'm going to give this one a 3, but what do you think about this one? And I guess your final word on everything.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5. I actually thought it was a pretty good song, especially to finish off the album. And I'm just hoping that the next part of this 3-part epic rock opera continues more in that kind of form, but I don't think it will. Mate, my final kind of comment is, and it's for all the Pumpkins fans out there who are probably our age, in their kind of 40s, I think, for me, the Pumpkins definitely finished when they released Rotten Apples, which was basically a greatest hits, and I believe that was a worldwide release. I don't know if it was just an Australian release, but it featured 2 extra bonus tracks, Real Love and the song Untitled. Now, Real Love was more of an electronic kind of sound, which I kind of thought that's where the kind of Pumpkins are heading, but it was an absolute cracker of a song that could fit into anyone's greatest hits. It was a great song, but that for me was the cutoff point of where the Smashing Pumpkins finished. Now I know they've released other stuff since then, but basically Machina was the last album that I kind of really listened to and enjoyed. And I'm not going to bag the Pumpkins out here. I'm not here to do that, but I just really believe that that's where they finished their really solid bodies of work. And ever since then, I just think it's a bit of a all over the shop version of, let's just try and release an album for album's sake. Let's get some new young kids on the block touring and being in the band. I just think the Pumpkins for me finished with Rotten Apples, mate. That's my last 2 cents worth.
Yeah, look, I couldn't really agree with you more. We're not really heading into a lot of great directions and great territory here. So that is our 3rd episode of the autumn special. That wraps up another episode of Indie Miners. Please look to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, and let us know if there's an album you would like us to look at. So until next time, bye for now, and thank you for watching.